as we're finishing up, a couple of announcements. Tomorrow's wonderful quiz. All your quiz, it's all homework problems. Okay? Markup, it's the same thing as tax. And tip. Multiply and add. True. So, markup, commission, interest. I'm not going to give you a test on distance, speed, and time yet. So that's going to be tomorrow. Homework problems. So all of the questions on the test are based on your homework problem. Your do nows. Question 1 and 2, that's how the test is going to be. Okay. Today, we're doing more distance, speed, and time. Homework is all. Disappointed in myself. Oh, well. Okay, let's go into our notebooks, and we're going to need our triangle, our handy-dandy triangle. Wrong notebook.
I just might just looks weird.
Here we are. Beautiful.
And then triangle man.
I remember this class. We forgot to do the units because we're out of time, but I need your full attention on these units. So this is the last problem we did yesterday. So find the last problem from yesterday. So you should all be on this page of your notes. Where is this in your notes? We did not finish, so we got to finish these notes. Okay. Because on the test, or today, when we're checking your answers, either Miss Vanessa, Miss Sherry, or myself, if you just write 325, we're going to mark it wrong. You're missing your units. Okay, here's how you're going to do your units. Do you see, actually, never mind, I'm not doing that. Okay, doing it over here. Do you see how I wrote down 65 miles per hour and 5 hours yesterday on our notes? Yeah. Right? Okay. What repeated? What words repeated here? The H's. Now, someone in my other class said, Miss O'Malley, this one just says H, and this one says HR. Those aren't the same. And I said, true, they're not. But do they mean the same? Yes. When you see an H, it's hours. When you see HR, it's hours. Okay. Here's my trick for you. If the words, letters, repeat, Sham, if they repeat, Chris, cross them out. So you see how here they repeat? Cross them out right now in your notes. If they repeat, they get eliminated. Cross them out. No more. We're no longer going to use them. Okay. Now this one's a little harder to understand. Well, actually, no. What's the opposite of multiplication? Division. What's the opposite of division? Multiplication. Okay. What does this dot mean? Multiplication.
That means we divide?
No. Hold on. This means multiplication. Well, no. You multiply 65 times 5, okay? Does anybody know what the word per means in math?
Per number?
Okay. Per is an operation. This is how math gets all confusing because words mean something different. Per actually means division. It's weird. So, what's the opposite of division? Multiplication. So guess what? Just trust me. The P, the per, crosses out with the dot for multiplication. So, per and the dot cancel each other out. Okay? So what's the only thing I did not cross out from yesterday's notes?
The R, the N, and the M, and the N.
Just the M.
Yeah.
What does the M stand for?
Miles.
So our answer is 325 miles. When we check your work on the test, on the classwork, if you just write this, the number, it is wrong. If you write it with the word, then you're going to get your points. Okay?
I won't be here tomorrow. Yeah. Just the M.
You can write just the M. That's fine. All right. Are we okay with that? Okay. So let's see. Now, okay, let's not just get the worksheet. Okay. Let's do today's date because now we're going to go into today's notes, which is just a continuation of yesterday. All right. Tiffany traveled a total of 632 miles in 8 hours. So Tiffany drove for 8 hours. How many miles does she travel? 632. Okay. What's the question I'm going to ask you, though?
How fast is she going?
Yeah, very good. How fast was she going? Very good. So if you can figure out what the question is going to be, that's good. If you can't, that's fine. We'll always tell you the question. All right, so let's write that down. Okay. So what am I solving for?
How fast?
How fast, which means what?
How like? I was come out.
What word?
This.
What word? What word?
Division.
Speed. Speed. So when you read how fast, we're looking for the S. We're looking for the S. No.
No.
Cover up the S.
Distance divided by time.
So when you
Oh,
cover
yeah,
up the S,
divided by-
what does this line mean?
Distance divided by time.
Division, right? So let's write that down. Speed equals distance divided by time. Practice writing the formulas. So when you're in high school and you get to do this again in high school, you don't need this anymore. It's in here. Okay. What's the distance?
630 miles.
Okay, write it with the miles. Literally, this extra step of writing the word miles is going to save you some headaches later on. Divided by, what's our time?
8 hours.
So write 8 and then write the hours. Yes, take the time to write the hours. All right, let's do some division. Let's practice some long division because it might be on the map test and you might not get a calculator. So let's practice. Divided by 8. Okay, how many times is 8 going to 6? 0. Move my hand over. How many times is 8 going to 63?
8.
What's 8 times 8? What's 7 times 8? 56. Juliana, we're writing this down? This math? Okay.
That'll be one. That'll be 7. I got 13. 13 and then put the 2 down. It'll be.
63 minus
Oh wait,
79.
I did my math. Sorry.
You can't see. 72.
I got 7. I got 72. I got it's 72.
So, you didn't see it, but it's this, right? 63 minus 56. What's 63 minus 7, right? And then what number do I bring down?
The 2.
There's a 2.
72.
Then you ask yourself, how many times does 8 go into 9? Oh, sorry.
You just said the
I know, my brain, you know, it's...
How much does 8 go to 72?
Thank you. How many times does 8 go into 72? 9. 9 times 8?
72 equals 0, 0.
Okay. Okay, so what if I go, Miss O'Malley, there it is, I'm done.
No.
What are we missing?
Miles per hour.
The units.
Yeah.
Okay, so my trick to you of how to do the units. If the words repeat, cross them out. So let's look up here. Do any of these words repeat?
Yes.
Which words repeat?
S.
Words. Words, not letters. Words.
Miles and hours.
Do any of the words repeat?
No.
The miles.
Okay, where do I see miles here?
Oh, sorry,
How
man.
many times? 1 time. Does this mean miles? No. Does this mean miles? No. Do any of the words repeat? No. So guess what? We write them all down in the order. Which word came first? Miles. So, Juliana, let's focus. Right here, right here. Miles came first. The line. What do you think the line? What word am I going to use for the line? Per. What's the last word there? So, basically, I'll be honest with you. The number one thing I'm grading are the units. So, if none of the words repeat, you don't cross out anything, and you use them all in the order. Miles per hour. Miles per hour. Okay? All right. It is. Of course it is. Not yet. Dylan. Dylan ran at a, speed of 6 miles per hour for 3 hours.
Only 6? I don't like 12 miles.
We'll test it out tomorrow.
Yes.
Meet me guys out in the field.
Bet.
Okay, so Dylan ran at a speed of 6 miles per hour for 3 hours. What am I going to ask you?
How fast?
How fast? 6 miles per hour.
How long?
3 hours.
The distance. How much did it take
Good.
him?
Chris, distance. How long? It took him 3 hours.
I mean, the distance.
Distance. How do I ask for distance? Good. Good, Chris. How far did he go? Question mark. Sure. To the park. To the house. To his aunt's house. Wherever you want to add. To Target.
It's too far.
All right.
As far as what?
Imagine walking for 3 hours. Okay. So what are we solving for? Distance. So
Speed times.
S times T.
the math is in your triangle. The math is in your triangle. So Sham, have your triangle in your hand. Do we have our triangles? Do I see everyone with their triangles out? Donde está triangles?
My triangle is before. So speed times time?
Yep.
Speed times time.
So cover up the letter D. Should have an extra somewhere. Okay, so cover up the D. What math is shown? S times T. So literally, hold this in your hand, and you can see the math. You can see the math. You can be like, oh, it's right here. S times T. This is how we're going to make it so easy for you.
Speed times time.
Good, Julio. Juliana, did you cover up the D? Okay, what's the math that's there?
Damn.
Oh. Times what? What does a T stand for? Good. All right.
6 times 3.
So remember, you want to now. Some of you should be able to fill in the numbers before I do. Some of you should be able to know what the speed is and the time is before I start. Right. I'm getting a little thirsty. I'm getting a little thirsty. I'm gonna take an H2O break.
Wait,
Parched.
Miss, if I, so I bring, so it's 6 times 3, right?
Include your units. 6 what?
6 times 3.
What are my units on 6?
6 miles. 6 miles.
So you got to read this whole thing.
6 miles per hour for 3 hours.
Write it down. Write.
So,
when you write 6 here, you don't just write 6. I want 6 miles per hour. You write the whole thing. I'm still parched.
Wait,
I'm still parched.
I need to write the letters.
Do you want the easiest way possible to do this? Yeah. The kids who write this have a harder time. Swear. If you guys write this, you will have a harder time.
Oh, we're having a hard time. Wait, so do I put like miles per hour,
You,
like the letter?
yes. M
Okay.
P H. Can you abbreviate? Yes. Can you write it all out?
Yes.
Yes. Do you have to write something? Yes.
Yeah.
Kids back there.
Yes, miss.
Okay, 3 what? 3 alligators? 3 what? Hours. Okay. What words repeat?
H.
The H. What does H stand for?
Hours.
Hours. So,
We don't want hours anymore.
oh, I forgot to write the dot. What does the dot cross out?
The
The P. What am I left with?
M.
So now let's just do the math. What's 6 times 3? 18 miles. Yes, but you know what makes it easy, Oscar? Literally doing this part. I've had kids last period, they skipped this part and they had the hardest time figuring out the units. And it's like, literally take 20 seconds, write it down, cross them out, and it's so much easier. So much easier. Julio. Yep. Julio walked for 20 miles.
That's my word.
That's
Keep in mind,
That's like
I
what-
read. He won. Look at the difference right there.
Yes.
Different. I was like partially stupid. You know.
But like, we are.
At a speed of, speed of 2 miles per hour. What am I going to ask you? How far? 20 miles.
How long?
How long?
No,
Distance is 20.
the time.
Time. Very good. So how do I ask for time?
How long?
Yep, very good, Chris. How long did it take him? Oh, so dehydrated today.
They're parched. I don't have any more left. My handy dandy special pencil.
All right. What are we talking for?
We're looking for how long.
So what letter do I cover up? Literally
Oh, D.
T. So literally do it with me.
Distance times speed.
What?
Distance divided by speed. Yeah,
Speed.
man.
Divided by times 60 minutes.
Oh yeah, totally.
It's 10
Dylan,
miles.
Stop it's selling, just spelled differently, miss. Like bear and bear.
Can't bear this anymore. Okay, distance divided by speed. This is why we do this, so you can literally see it in your hands, with your eyes and your hands. Distance divided by speed. So write that down. Practice writing this down. So we're solving for time. Time is distance divided by speed. So we write it down. Now this is where it's like, can you plug in the numbers while Miss Lomelli drinks even more water?
Wow. Because you're really parched.
Totally. All right. So tell me, write down the distance, write down the speed. I'm over here. Look at me. Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
20 miles and 2 miles is the same thing.
Bro.
Look, 20 miles and speed of 2 miles per minute. Per hour. Okay, bro.
Speed 20 miles.
All right. So, yes. So you write it as 20 miles divided by, what's our speed?
2 miles.
Miles per hour. I'm going to spell it out for this
We
one.
have to spell it
Okay.
out?
The math is easy. What's 20 divided by 2? 10. So you know your answer is going to be 10. The math is easy. What's the hard part is the units, but I'm trying to make it as easy as possible. Okay, what repeats?
Miles.
Miles. So those get crossed out. Miles gets crossed out. Miles gets crossed out. Now, what does this line mean?
Per.
Per means division. It means per. So if this is per.
So it's hours.
So we're going to cross out the per. We're going to cross out the per. What's left over? Hours. So our answer is 10 hours. When Miss J, Miss Vanessa, and I grade your paper.
I could have done it in like a minute. Maybe less.
No, that'll take me 10 out of 10.
Well, it took Julio 10 hours to walk 20 miles. We're gonna try that tomorrow. Y'all meet me in the field out there.
I'll be here tomorrow.
Oh, all of a sudden, Julio can't.